Welcome to the channel of Doctor of Body David Alaaggayu. And today we're going to have a little chat about Spiritism. For those of you that are new to my channel, I want to welcome you guys. This is a channel of Orisha, Ifa, Spiritism, Palo Mayombe practices. And 90% of the videos in this channel are mainly done in Spanish. But this year we are committed with the English community speaking uh, practitioners. And yes, and I said if I don't start now, when am I gonna start? So blessings, Marcelino. Blessings uh, to all of you guys that are connected to the life right now. Today, I want to speak to you about Spiritism. I mainly want to speak to you, and please, if you may be so kind, I invite you to kindly give a thumbs up, give a like to this live, and share it um, with your family members, friends, and so. Today, I want to speak to you about how to discover our spiritual powers in Spiritism. Blessings, Angelo. I want to speak to you on what methods, what ways can we go about on discovering our spiritual powers in the world of Spiritism. How can we know if we were born to practice Spiritism? How can we know if we were born to see spirits, to interpret spirits? So it's definitely going to be a very interesting life today. And yeah, I can promise you that if you stay put, we are going to learn a lot together. So I'm gonna just go ahead and share in a couple of groups here. So if you give me just a couple of seconds, we are going to start this extraordinary life. And we do promise you that we're going to bring you at least every week 2 to 3 English lives. Okay, I'm gonna share here, here, here. And yes, guys, Spiritism is a very beautiful world, but it is not understood by a lot of people. A lot of people does not understand Spiritism. A lot of people think we have to be born with some kind of gift. A lot of people think that we have to. A lot of religious people think that we have to be born with some kind of special gift from the hereafter. So they confuse that by not worrying about develop their spirits. And you know, when you don't develop your spirits, basically we make a big mistake if we don't develop our spirits, because Spiritism, to begin the life, to start to get in the topic, start to get in hot waters. Good evening, Madeline. Thank you for joining us. We know we don't have that many people connected. I usually have 5, 6, 700 people, but 90% of my followers, they are Spanish speaker. But like I said, we want to make a commitment with the English speaking community to bring you a lot of knowledge that we have, that we can share. We have a lot of knowledge that we can share with you, that we have shared this knowledge with the Spanish community over the past 16 years. in social media and throughout my books. I'm an author, I'm a writer, and you can check out my literature in my website, www.davidalaaggayu.com. Blessings, Monty. Thank you for the inspiration. I have felt and see things not sure. Well, Angelo, listen to this. Guys, spiritism is a doctrine or a belief that sustains the idea of communication with the spirits of people or beings that have left their matter, their physical body, to progress spiritually, as well as the existence of a world in a different plane in which we live. That is basically spiritism, guys. Let me just go ahead and pin this. Oh, and we do have our 6 schools. We have the school in Palomayombe, we have a school of plants. We have 6 schools. In my website, you guys can subscribe, and all of our schools are bilingual. We have a live 24-hour translator in class. And yes, I have several of your books published in English. Thank you very much, Madeline. And my next book is going to be in English as well. So basically, that is Spiritism. Spiritism is a science. Basically, science, it is defined as anything that it is studiable. If it's studiable, if you can study it, if there is a way that you can study something, it's science. Christianity is science. History is science. Medicine is science. Orisha, Ifa, Kosher, Palomayombe, it's also identifiable as science. Spiritism, it is also science. And those who practice Spiritism, we believe that it is possible to establish contact with spiritual entities through various means, such as mediumship, automatic writing, or the use of tools such as spiritual tablets, spiritual tables. Let me put this shirt together. This is a great English life. Well, Danny, wish me luck, my brother, because my English is it's a mess, but I'll do my best. And we do this through which this is being done through which they develop as a system of communication between the living world and the world beyond, or the hereafter. According to certain manifestations, depending on the type of spirits that you have, is the manifestations that you're going to have that are presented through sessions. Guys, the term spirits, the term spiritism is derived from the word spirit, and it's used to describe a set of beliefs and practices related to the interaction between the physical world and the spiritual world. Even Allan Kardec in the 19th century, which was a French, how can I say this word? Let me see, because I have prepared Google Translate for pronunciations. Because I wouldn't know how to pronounce that word. I want to pronounce the word pedagogue, pedagogy, pedagogo.
Pedagogy.
Pedagogy. Well, anyways, that. And Allan Kardec was a disciple of this guy named Pestalozzi, and then he was considered the founder of the modern spiritualism, and codified, coded the principles in literature works, but he wasn't the one that established Spiritism. Before Allan Kardec, we used to practice Spiritism way before his literary 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 work got to us in the 1800s. There were other authors, other writers, and other practitioners of spiritualism. And the fundamentals of Spiritism include the area that human beings are spiritual beings who transcend physical life, the existence of a spiritual plane inhabited by entities, communication with spirits through mediums, and beliefs in reincarnation. So what we have to understand is that we as human beings, we are spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings. If you do not understand, if we don't understand that we are spiritual beings, we are never going to be able to communicate with the hereafter. We are never going to be able to communicate with the spirits. We are never going to be able to communicate with the death, with our egos. You know, we have to understand that we are a matter that is moved, or our matter, our physical body is moved by spirits. You know, guys? And it is important to note that Spiritism has evolved and diversified over time, giving rise to various currents and approaches. Where even today we find doctrines such as the doctrines of Venezuelan Spiritism, Cuban Spiritism, Hoodoo Spiritism, Voodoo Spiritism, and a lot of different kinds of Spiritism that we have. And they're all Spiritism. It's just a different way of practicing it, because all of different Spiritism are valid. Why every different Spiritism way of practicing Spiritism is valid? Because all of the spirits are different. Umbanda Spiritism, thank you Monty, and many other. You know what I'm saying? And you know, even in the 18th century, there was a growing interest in paranormal and spiritual phenomenon in Europe and in North America. But although Spiritism or spiritualism in the modern sense of the term had not yet developed, there were some trends and events that contributed to the fertile ground for the emergence of Spiritism in the 19th century. You know, Spiritism is presented on the three different concepts. We have to understand the cult of Egungun. Yes, sir. That is another way of practicing Spiritism. Guys, if you're connected to YouTube, I don't know why my YouTube. If you can just press the screen, like tap tap ta 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 ta, like fast, like that. That is another way you can give a like. You can support us by giving us a like, a thumbs up to the channel. I'm sorry. So we have to understand the first three concepts of the Spiritism: manifestations, principles, and philosophy. We have to study the philosophy of Spiritism so we can become better spiritualists. The concept of Spiritism, it is to communicate with the hereafter, where the spirits dwell, where the spirits exist, you know? And if it is not endowed with the matter, with matter, it dwells in space. Because spirit has no form and moves actually it's been proven by science that spirits move faster than the speed of light, which is equivalent to approximately 300,000 kilometers per second. You know, spiritism goes beyond just seeing or passing dead. It is so great to hear you explain this in English. I was born in the U.S., Cuban roots, of course, so being able to understand this helps so much. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for supporting. Right now, we are a little amount of people connected because 95% of my followers are Spanish, but we planning to do this at least 3 times a week, and hopefully my English will get a little better. My accent, you know. Yeah. Blessings, Kika. Thank you so much for being here. You know, what is a medium? Because you see, what I have a problem with is with people, and of course these are um, most of the times are Cuban people that tell us that the spiritism in Cuba, the Cuban people that they tell us, oh, you cannot be a spiritualist because you are born with a gift, and and if you was not born with a gift, there's no way you are never going to be a spiritist. That is a complete lie, guys. No one is born with no spiritual gift. We all have the ability. We all have the ability to become spiritists. And let me explain to you why. In spiritualism, a medium, it's a person who acts as an intermediary between the spirit world and the physical world, serving as a channel through which spirits can communicate with those on earth. Why? Because mediums supposedly have the ability to perceive and transmit the message. What is the message? The message is the information or energy from spirit entities. And they are 3 kinds. That's why he has this. Yes, I do have a school of spiritists, and you guys are more than welcome to subscribe at my website, davidalaaggayu.com, and our classes are given in English and Spanish. So has our PDFs document. The 3 kinds of mediums that exist are the person who sees, to whom things, the seer. The seer is the person that everything comes to its mind. Everything comes in the middle eye. Everything comes here. If it comes to you and you're thinking about it, and you are in the middle of a spiritual session, then say it. Because even though you're not seeing a spirit, even though you're not montándote like in the third eye, yeah, thank you. Even though you're not getting possessed by a spirit, that is the original and authentic, most form of authentic and organic of being a spiritism. He or she, that the message comes to the third eye. So it comes to your mind, and you say it, you interpret it. Then we have the second one, which is the one who passes the spirit, the one who gets possessed by the spirit. And then we have the one that has the ability of listening, seeing, and feel the ability to see the spirit or feel the spirit. But the true medium is the one who sits in the vault, the spiritual white table, and speaks to you things that come to his mind, to the third eye. The spirit the ones that are possessed by spirits, the ones that see spirits, feel spirits, etc., are a derivative, es un derivado, a derivative of the true medium, are like how can I say that? The other spiritism, a way to practice spiritism, are born from the original spiritist, which is the one that the message come to the third eye. And it is important. It is important. You know, has Allan Kardec say in his book of communication with the spirits, use your mind, feed your spirit, your mind, the power of the brain capacity. Allan Kardec tells us in the book Communication with the Spirit, in page 59, second paragraph, you need to use your mind, feed your spirit, your mind, the power of the brain. We need to use it, the brain capacity, to communicate with the spirits. You have to force your mind. You have to force your mind in order to have a communication with the spirits, with the hereafter. No one was born being a spiritualist. That is not true. That is a manipulation that religious people use against the 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 amateur, the people that have no experience in the religion, because they don't want to teach them. They don't want other people to evolve. They don't want other people to learn. They don't want other people to grow. And that is one of the main problems in the religion these days. Whether you practice Ifa, whether you practice Orisha, whether you practice Spiritism, whether you practice Palomayombe, hell, whether you are a Christian or a Catholic, you know, that pastor ain't never going to tell you the tips and tricks on how to get all the way up there on being a pastor. So, you know, we have always, throughout humanity, we have always seen that selfishness in human beings, and we just, you know, we gotta deal with this. And the only way to deal with this is throughout studying, throughout information. What is information? In science, information is everything that you format inside you. It's the formation that you give to your inside of you, which is your brain. You know, that's in formation. You are giving formation. You are formatting. What is the first book you recommend to read? I extremely recommend you to read my book called Spiritism, The Communication with the Hereafter. You can acquire it in davidalaaggayu.com. None of my literature is in any elsewhere except my own official website. They say it's an awesome book. Thank you very much, Kika. So, you know, we got to format our brain, and the only way to format, to thrive, to success, to be successful in the religion and in the personal life, is throughout information. So, with that being said, it is important to continuously sit in the spiritual white table. The more you concentrate, the better or more the spirits will manifest within you. People do not become mediums. Rather, they develop their spirits so to become a medium in a better, effective way. And it is important to attend the masses and sit as often as possible in front of your Bóveda. From possession and contact with spirit, the process one goes through to be prepared to fall into trance develops solely in the mystical thinking of the medium who creates in himself or herself a parallel personality. And what is a parallel personality? When we learn what is a parallel, I'm sorry, please repeat the book. Madam, my book is called Spiritism. It's got, let me write it for you right quick. Spiritism, and you can get it at davidalaaggayu.com. It's called Spiritism. Make sure you get the one that is in English because both of the covers, the covers are the same. It's just one word changes. The Spanish version, it's called Espiritismo, and the English version is written in English, Spiritism. I'm sorry, guys. So we have to learn how to create a parallel personality so we can understand when is the correct way that we must get possessed with our spirits. You develop a spiritual character or alter ego, like a spiritual avatar. Definitely, most definitely, Monty. And this is because, the medium, the way you possess yourself with the spirits is because you believe. The medium believes himself or herself to possess part of the spirit force and its prolongation on the earthly plane. Just like in Africa, the difference in our Spanish or Afro-Cuban Yoruba Lukumi culture and the African possession of spirits, or Engungun or Elegun, for that matter, how they say it over there, Elegun, is that in Africa it is the same process, with the difference that the individual in Africa, one must be instructed on the behavior of the spirits. One must be instructed on the behavior. He has to learn how to adopt in a trance state and being very meticulous in other details related to the dance and the language. So in Africa, they teach you how to get possessed with the spirits. And Afro-Cubans, we believe that you have to develop the spirits. So in Cuba, you believe that you have to develop the spirits, and in Africa, we believe that that is something that you are being taught to. Regardless, whatever the case may be, and whatever you decide on which route you are going to learn Spiritism from, in our school, we teach you both ways, throughout a spiritual, science, practical, and literature way. Always based with, always backing it up with proof. And you see the development of a medium. How can we, as medium, develop our spirits to become better spiritists? The development of a medium involves the practice of perceiving sensitive or physical or spiritual skills. Perceiving sensitive or spiritual skills that allows you to act as an intermediate or intermediary between the physical and spiritual worlds. But what is considered what is considered useful for the development of mediumship skill is self-awareness and emotional balance. When you have self-awareness and emotional balance, you are more inclined to be to start to be a good spiritism. You know, many believe that the development of a medium begins with understanding and control of emotions. When we understand and when we learn how to control our emotions, that's the beginning of a spiritual process of learning how to listen to your ancestors. Second point, emotional stability. Emotional stability helps open the mind and the heart to receive spiritual messages more clearly. You see, guys, if you're not emotionally stable, your mind is not going to be um, spiritually prepared to receive a message, and much less deliver the message. We have to be aligned with our ori. That's why the verse goes, ori niti ota odalora wori wo shere tabikuna oria te beni orisa oria te niran orioku ori ni senita fida de o ori ni senita fida quale che uoia ori abemi o colo de lo dumare ni colo de abawoni woni ko se o si be boru boni o kodolori ire o kodolori aje wo o kodolori e gungun kodolori e leguni. Ori is the deity that can align you with Olodumare, Orisha, Egungun, and your ancestors. It is Ori. You have to be aligned with Ori. And right now, as we speak, one of my best-selling books, which is called El Secreto de la Alineación de Ori, it's called The Secret of Aligning Ori to have a successful life and money as well, which is important to go through life. That book is getting translated right now by a professional translator as we speak. So, yes, we do have a lot of plans with the English community this year. Oh, Monty, it's gonna be ready like in a month. You're gonna have a blast reading that book. Sorry for the cigarette, guys. That's it's a habit in my life, and my streaming. The reason that I explain is because since I'm gonna start doing a lot of English lives now, some of you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, he's so rude. He's smoking a cigarette. This, and that." So I'm very sorry. That's my only. But yes, emotional stability is the key. Emotional stability. Emotional stability. To perceive the message. The heart is connected with the mind. If the heart is not aligned, if the mind is not aligned, the heart cannot interpret. If the heart is not aligned, the mind cannot interpret. Cindy, dear, I am located in Houston, Texas. My botanica, it's called Botanica Orisha De, which, by the way, humbly, I can say that it is the biggest botanica. It is the widest, the biggest botanica in Houston. Not only Houston, it's the biggest botanica of Texas. We're located in Houston, Texas. You can look us up in Google, Botanica Orisha De, and it'll come out. And if you put Botanica davidalaaggayu, it's still gonna come out. And I invite you guys to follow me on YouTube. Right now we are live on YouTube as well. So guys, yes, another important thing emotional stability help us clear our mind. Meditation and concentration. Regular meditation in the spiritual white table will help calm the mind and develop concentration. Thank you, Ila. Meditation, if we at least can meditate 5 minutes a day, ladies and gentlemen, if we can at least 5 minutes of the day, guys, we spend we spend on the toilet more than that. If we can spend 5 minutes of the day sitting in front of our spirit, I guarantee you that in 31 days, you tell me if you are not able to develop your spirits, yes or no. And who the hell is going to tell me that you are born with that gift and that you cannot develop that gift? Of course, you're going to develop that gift. And you're going to develop that gift even more than the person that was telling you that you cannot be a spiritism because you weren't born with that gift. Oh, yes. It is, yes, Melissa, indeed. And it is more than a challenge than what a lot of people think. It is such a challenge to quiet the mind. And when you learn how to control 5 minutes of quiet time of your day, sitting in front of your spiritual table, I will guarantee, and the first week is going to be 5 minutes. Second week is going to be 7 minutes. Third week you're going to make it to 10 minutes. By the fourth week, you're going to be on 15 minutes. By the second month, oh honey, trust me, you're going to be about half an hour because you're going to start liking it, because spirits are going to start talking to you, and spirits are going to start to communicate with you. And that's not the funny part about it. The funny part about it is that they're not only going to start talking to you, you're going to start seeing the things that the spirits are going to tell you in front of the spiritual vault. When you practice, baby steps. Baby steps. That's all it takes, baby steps. You can't tell a baby to start running. You first do baby steps. But when you do baby steps in Spiritism, it will make you a hell of a Spiritist. It will make you a very big Spiritist. Dr. David, you woke up my spirit when I followed your Boveda preparation. I want to do a spiritual mass with you. Great. That will be great. Monty, I hope you're in my Spiritism school. It will blow your mind. You will learn a lot. And guys, this can be essential. It is essential for tuning into spiritual energy and receiving messages more clearly. Intuition development. When we have intuition development, we strengthen intuition. We strengthen intuition by sitting in front of our spiritual vault. Cindy, how do I get started in the religion? Well, Cindy, you can read one of my books to get a better understanding. You can also get a reading with me. You can also, I'm going to be tomorrow all day in my Botanica. But tomorrow I have like about 18 readings. And but you can subscribe to my website, and we will let you know when my readings will be open again at distance. But yes, when you include paying attention to your gut feelings, when you include paying attention to your dreams, to your hunches, you are one step ahead. You're one step more to become a good spiritualist. And this may, um, clairvoyance, clairvoyance, and clairaudience practice. Clairvoyance involves the ability to receive mental images. When you open your mind to receive mental images, when you open your ear to have the ability to hear spiritual messages, this ability can definitely be developed through a specific exercise and practices. You know, working with the spirit guides. Many mediums believe that they work with spiritual guides who provide guidance, protection, developing a conscious connection with these guides with your own spirit will be part of the development process. Studying the theory part of studying the spirit, you have to study spiritism to understand how spirit works. Everything it is studyable in this life. You will not get good at something you do not study. You will not get good at something you don't practice it. You will not get good at something you don't understand. And developing a conscious connection with these guides, with the spirits, will be part of the development process. Participation in development circles, going to spiritual masses. But we also need to have that ethics and responsibility. It is important, guys. I cannot emphasize. I cannot be more. How can I say that? I forgot how to say. It is very. It is imperative. It is important to enforce ethics and responsibility. The medium develop a strong sense of ethics and responsibility in their work. You cannot be a good spiritist and just say whatever the hell you want to say. We have to learn how to interpret our premonitions. We have to learn how to interpret our intuitions. We have to learn how to interpret the messages. Definitely. You do have to make sure we do have to make sure we know how to pick a good spiritual house. Because if you go to a babalawo, you're gonna jump this part of your path. If you go to a guy that is a santero, only but a santero, you're going to jump this spiritual path. If you go to a mayombero, to a gangulero, you have to be in a house of a mayombero that is also a spiritism. But when you're in a house of a high priest, that he's an Obaoriate, he's a high priest in the Orisa community initiation. He knows what he's doing. He has more than 16 years of practice. He's a professor, or maybe he also practiced Palomayombe spiritism. He does all of these things except being a babalao. Babalao doesn't have nothing to do with spiritism. Babalao doesn't have nothing to do with spiritual world, and we're just, we're not going against babalaos or nothing. That's just the fact of the matter. Babalaos deals only and only with Orumila, with Ifa. But modesty, ethics, diplomacy, when discerning and transmitting channel-led messages from spirit, it's imperative because messages can be personal in nature. Thank you very much, Monty, for helping me transmitting that message that I was trying to. But the development of mediumship skills, it's a personal and unique experience that it must be guided by a person that knows what he's doing, but you also have to put interest in your behalf. It's a unique because it's so important to be open to different approaches and to understand that not all people accept or believe in mediumship the same way. You know, Babalaos can give spiritual help because he can do the same thing. Not really, not at all. That's a very misinformation message that you are typing in there because Babalaos does not have the ability to communicate with the hereafter. Babalaos does not have the ability to communicate with the spirits. Babalao does not have the ability to communicate and interact with ancestors. Babalaos can ask a question to Egun by giving Obi. He can ask a question to an Orisha by the oracle of Obi, or Opele or Ifa with Ikin to Orumila. But Babalaos does not have in any way, shape, or form the ability of communication with ancestors. And the development of a medium involves practice, studying, reading, schooling, direction, guidance, mentorship, you know, a practice of perceiving sensitive and spiritual skills that allowed you to act as an intermediary between the physical and the spiritual world. And we do have to learn how to control those emotions if we want to get good at interpreting spirits. And when we talk about this, we often ask ourselves if the spiritual person, it is born or it is made. Well, let me tell you that spiritualists are born and made, especially made, since, as we have said, we are all born with extra sensory, with extra sensory. I'm sorry. We are all born with extra sensory abilities. We are all born with energetic flow. We are all born with sensory perception. Thank you very much, Flawless Glow. We are all born with the same capabilities. We just choose to believe, and we choose to underrate us and demean us, and we choose to undermine ourselves by accepting that we do not have a certain capability when in fact we do have them. You know, and what differentiates one person from another in developing it faster is that development that they put into. You know, it is therefore important to continually develop this flow so that extrasensory capabilities are increasingly sensitive to spiritual manifestations more and more and more. It is therefore important to practice, study spiritual sessions continuously, to sit in the vault At least if you want to, we do spiritual sessions in the school also as well, to pray, to light a candle, because a candle has a very high meaning in the Spiritism. A candle is not just a candle. A candle is not just a candle in the Spiritism. Like we were saying, 5-10 minutes over time. Over time, it's like in the gym. You lift 5 pounds every day. Next month you're gonna be lifting 10 pounds. Next month you're gonna be lifting 20 pounds, and eventually you're gonna be lifting 100 pounds. But in the Spiritism, we do spiritual weights. We do mind weights. Because the brain, it's a muscle that we develop, that we grow, that we enforce, and that it keeps on growing and growing and growing and growing. So has our spiritual senses. When we use herbs, when we use plants that help to make us more sensitive. Plants, we have a very, very good school of plants and herbs that you guys can accompany us. You guys can subscribe us in my website. That school is also in English and Spanish. And in that school, we also teach what plants can help us to increase our spiritual senses, our spiritual communications, what plants can help us to be better spiritism, because they are plants that help the human being on becoming more sensitive to spiritual communication. And it's just when we use plants that help to make us more sensitive, identifying the way in which our spirits manifest themselves, and having an adequate scenario for the communication to take place, that's essential. The person to sit in the bóveda, in the spiritual table, another tip that I can give you guys: every time you sit at the table, you don't have to sit all dressed in white. You do not have to sit all dressed in white. Let me explain to you something about the white color. The white color has different representations in different practices, but also in different spirits. What my spirit can see the representation of white color, it might not be the same meaning of or representation that your spirit can be looking at the white color, seeing the white color. I have days that I'm going to do spiritual masses, and it's just, if I dressed in white, I don't see nothing. Sometimes I don't see nothing when I dressed in white, because my main guide, my main spirits, his main color is not the white color. As long as you do not dress in black, as long as you do not dress in a very dark color, sometimes to communicate better with the hereafter, we have to wear the things that our spirits that gets more identified with. If your spirits identified more with the yellow color, then wear something yellow for the misa. If your spirit identified more with the blue color, then wear blue in your misa. But if your spirits identified more with the red color, then wear something red in your misa. But if your spirits do not, maybe your spirit have some type of trauma with the white color, because maybe he was a black Congo, and maybe he was just abused by a priest, by one of these European priests back in the 16, 17, 1800s. And you know, this white priest that he used to dress white all the time, and maybe not all spirits get identified with the white color. So we must understand that Spiritism is not black and white, guys. Spiritism, it is the adoption of in every manifestation that different spirits have. A color, a color, a color, color other than white, excluding black, may trigger a connection with. Thank you very much, Monty, and that's definitely what I'm trying to say. A color other than white, excluding black, may trigger a connection with a particular spiritual guide in your spiritual team. I'm sorry. And this may even provoke a possession. You see what we're trying to get now? You see where we're trying to go? What we're trying to get to? You know, this is the religion of monkey see, monkey do. Everybody dressed in white, and here I have to dress in white. Why do I have to dress in white? Why? No. As a matter of fact, in a lot of spiritual masses, I don't even wear white. The only place in my body where I always wear white is on my head, and that's because I adore Obatala. Obatala. That's in honor to Obatala, you know. And we also must understand cryolling. ¿Por qué en inglés? Why in English, doctor? Well, in English because also the English speaker community deserves at least a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of my time. I have given 16 years to the Spanish speaking community. Hell, a lot of them haven't even appreciated that. At least 50%. So, you know, we're going to start doing something for the English community now that also deserves. The transmission is kind of slow because you guys are not giving like. In TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, un like, corazoncito, give a little heart, you know, show your support is in some kind of way. We don't ask for flowers, hats, money, you know, dragon in TikTok. We just ask for a bunch of likes. Just give us a shitload of likes and we will be the happiest person in the world. We just want a lot of likes, a lot of little hearts in TikTok. And you know, it gets frozen. It freezes because the simple fact that people don't like to hear the truth. And people insist on lying. Priests insist of lying to people, stealing from people, and people just don't want to teach these days. You know, the little bit they know, or the little bit that they think they know, they don't want to teach it. They don't want to delegate, because we as human beings are so selfish that we think that we're going to live forever. But what about the generations that are going to come after us? Thank you very much, Madeline. And you know, also it is very important to understand that when you sit in the boveda, you also have to be clean of any sexual act. You have to take a shower. Like if you had intercourse, you have to take a shower before sitting. You know, like take a normal bath. You know, soap and water, no big deal. 2 minutes. Right quick. Thank you very much, Kit Kat. Follow me also on YouTube, Kit Kat. That's where I have almost 3,000 videos. And guys, yes, any object that we are tend to find anything we like in botanicas, anything we like in the streets. We find a rock at the sea. They're going to eliminate the application of TikTok in 7 days. Well, you know what? I'll be the happiest man alive if they erase TikTok, because since this application started, this is what have harmed humanity and religion so much that is not even funny. The only reason I connect, I do lives on TikTok, is to attract people to my YouTube channel. So me personally, I mean, I respect everyone's point of view. TikTok is not only bad, it also has some kind of productive videos of teachings, animals, National Geographic. But in my personal opinion, I will be the happiest man in the world if they erase TikTok. But anyways, yeah. I don't think they're gonna erase it, but if they erase it, that would be nice. But anyways, guys, you just don't find anything in the street and bring it to you, and bring it to your spiritual table and just throw it in there. Oh, I like this Arab, I'm gonna put it in my spiritual table. I like this Gitana, and I'm gonna put it in my spiritual table. And this cup of water broke, so I'm just gonna replace it just like that, like if I was replacing a pair of t-shirts. You know, Monty says it is okay. They reporting the life on TikTok. It is a taboo and strictly forbidden to do any religious ritual after intimate contact without first thoroughly showering with soap and water first. Yes, indeed. You're so right. Indeed. And we gotta be clean. But not only physically, we gotta be clean mentally. There's no way in this world you can sit in your spiritual white table being mad, being sad, and you're going to be able to perceive what the spirits are telling you. If you're mad, if you're upset, and if you're sad, you have to try your best on letting everything go. Like, let go. You are a new person. You are sitting in another world, in another country. You are sitting in front of Mother Nature, and you are just letting your spirits talk to. Yeah, that. Because thank you very much, Yamile. I invite you to follow also me in YouTube. That's where my good stuff is. We have to just let it go, even if we are upset at our mother, at our father, at our kids. Even if we have recently argued with our significant other, you know, when we are upset, when we are upset, that is, or we are sad, that is the best time, the best moment to sit in front of our spiritual table for our spirits to communicate with us, but with one condition. We can only do that if we are able to release and get out from our body and sit in a whole new entirely spiritual body that is not going to be mad, that is not going to be sad, that forgot at least for 20 minutes, at least for 10 minutes, you have to completely forget what made you mad, what made you sad. And if you're able to do that, and under those conditions you sit in front of your spiritual vault, yes, mental clarity, it is it's of the essence, it is the number one key. Mental clarity, very important for spiritual connection. It's difficult, like Kika says, you cannot have a fight in your house and then sit at the spiritual table. you know You are trying to make a clean and clear connection with the spirits. The only way you can do that, what Kika is saying that you cannot do, that I have said it so many times before, the only way you can be upset at anyone and sit at your spiritual table, it is if you have the spiritual maturity of ripping your soul out of your body and put installing a complete new soul, a temporary soul, for at least 10 minutes. For at least 10 minutes in the spiritual world. If you are able to do that, then yes, you can sit in your spiritual table. But if you're not going to be able to do that, and it's going to get you out of concentration, if you're not going to be able to concentrate, if you're not going to, then you need practice. You need practice. You need practice. I can't wait to register to one of your schools, man. Trust me, you will not be deceived. You will love it. And you know, guys, it is we have to clean. We have to clean our spiritual objects before we put it into our spiritual table. We cannot just find anything in any botanica. We cannot find just anything in the street. Oh, I like this for my spirits. Just throw it in the bóveda. And oh, I found this, and not just because anyone tells me that I have to put in my spiritual bóveda something to represent my spirits, I'm just going to do that. No. A spiritual bóveda, it is holy. It is holy. And has been something so holy, you have to treat it as is. It is holy. You cannot just tell me I have to put something, just anything, and sage is key. We have to investigate with the spirits. We have to ask the spirit. And there's many ways on how to speak, interact, and ask questions to the spirits. It's not just, shamalongo. There's different ways on communicating with the spirits. The spiritual vault, to develop spirits, to develop that connection with the spirits, cannot lack of three most important waters, which is seawater, river water, and rainwater. When we work with the three most holy waters, seawater, river water, rainwater, when we work with these three waters in our spiritual vault, this maximize our spiritual surroundings in our spiritual table in a very high potential in the spiritual realm. Techniques in the escalation, even detachment from negative interactions that have left subliminal spiritual ties, it is essential in order to receive and wisely discern channel messages. Thank you, Monty. I love you for that. Every time Monty writes something like that to me, it's like heaven, like, oh, like, yes. So my followers love me. They help me because they see that I'm putting effort into it. I don't even like to speak English, guys. I don't, nothing whatsoever. So I have downloaded some applications into my phone. I'm reading some books. I'm practicing a lot with Reina, my beloved and dear wife. And yeah, I did came from Cuba, my motherland, when I was 11 years old, and I have been in this country for more than 30 years. But since I never. I mean, I did went to college. I do have a master's from Ohio State University, and so on. I mean, my reading is perfect. My understanding in literature and English is perfect. But when it comes to pronunciation, I have always, you know, I have never liked to talk, and now I'm paying the consequences. I could have had a perfectly wide, very broad, bilingual channel, and 95% of my followers and my videos are in Spanish. But we're going to grow, and we promise you. Um, I have been here for 40 years, and I still have an accent. Dude, I'm serious, man. Like I see. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Monty. Like I see American people talking, and I envy them so much. I'm like, oh, man, I wish I can have that accent, that nice, crystal clear accent. Like, I don't know, Madea accent. That we in this house we love Madea, so we have seen all Tyler Perry's movies, and we're a fan of Tyler Perry. You know, like Madea, like yes sir. But anyways, sorry. This is the reason. Thank you very much, Lisa. You guys are great. That is why when we sleep, the subconscious is the same spirit that goes and feeds in another space, and then when it returns, it sends thoughts to the person. Dr. David's classes are literally your family. I cannot tell you how blessed and grateful I am for the opportunity to learn here. Doctor, greetings from Los Angeles. Blessings to you and your wife and baby boy. Question: I recently received a locum, and oh my God, I lost the message. I recently received a locum. No, I guess it retracted the message. And I get a lot of messages sometimes. Sorry, guys. Guys, let me tell you something. In my TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook and Instagram, all my followers list, I always have a private. So because it's nobody's business to see the names of my followers, I do take care of you guys' identity. So you guys are more than welcome to hit that follow button and follow me if you want to learn more in a more deeper way that you have learned until now. So a lot of people has asked me, no, I have this godmother, this godfather. He has threatened me of stealing. Oh, I do also have a Reddit. I barely use Reddit, but I have Reddit, Pinterest, Google, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, um, uh, TikTok. Uh, I don't know. I have like 14 social medias. I'm like, I'm too out there. So I have a website. I'm in Google. It's crazy. I'm very, yeah, I have to be very out there. Very out there. There's no way in this world. Do not believe the person that tells you. Do not believe the person that tells you that they can steal your spirits. That is a lie. That is a completely lie. Um, there's no way an ancestor from your spiritual your spiritual team, I guess I can say it like that, can be stolen from you. Okay, it can be unbalanced. It can be weakened, but it cannot be stolen. You know, there is no person that can take away your spiritual guide, because they have asked me this question before in the past. Oh, can this person steal my main spirits? Can this person threaten me to steal my spiritual guide? No, they're full of it. No, that's a lie. There's no voodoo guy, no babalawo, no santero, no spiritism, no obaoriate, no, they cannot steal. There's jobs, there's spiritual voodoo magic or ebos that you can do to make blind for a certain amount of time, make a blind, like to draw a spiritual blind curtain between a spirit and a person, so there won't be any communication for a temporary period of time. But there's no way I can take your main spirit from you. You know, and yes, the spirits must be educated. You have to develop your spirits. They have to be worked. They have to be taught. You know, sometimes they are constant fights in the house. We have fights, we have disagreements, and that is because maybe certain spirits in the house are not developed. That is why the spiritual vault have a spiritual blindfold veil. That's why the spiritual vault, the cups, the cup of water, the cups of water, they have certain positions. They have certain secret positions that you can put them so your spirits can be more aligned. You know, in my book of Spiritism, I have 11 positions, which I explained it very thoroughly. I did a live in English explaining this. I explained like 7 positions. I did a live in Spanish. I'm sorry, the live was in Spanish. I promise you guys, I think that would be a very good idea, Monty, Kika, for those of you that have seen the live in Spanish of how to manage the secret position of the cups, you know, and the defense position, ancestral position, the asking help position. That would be a very good idea to do that live in English. I want to do so many live in English for you guys. You know, live streaming subjects that I have already touched in these past years. Yes, Monty, we have to do it. That life in English will be the bomb. I think the English community people, religious people, need to know about those 11 secret positions that we can put the cups. You know, we can put the cups in like vertical positions, rectangular positions, square positions, what was horizontal positions, octagon positions, and pentagon positions, and there's actually 21 secret positions that I'm going to be going into a deep teaching and knowledge in my Spiritism school. But out of those 21, I have only spoken about 11 positions in my books, in my book of Spiritism. The communication with the hereafter that you guys, like I told you guys can get it in my official website, davidalaaggayu.com. But out of those 11 positions, I made a live a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, talking about 7 of those positions, 7 of those 11 positions, 7 positions. That live, I think I'm going to do it in English because you guys, that will be a hell of a life. You guys will love that life. And with the help of Monty, Kika, Angelo, and you guys, with some English terms, I think that would be a very good life. It would aportar. How do you say aportar? It would contribute. I think contribute aportar. It will contribute um, a lot of knowledge. Yes, Monty, definitely. It will contribute a lot of knowledge, um, different knowledge to the spiritism. And spirits, they do reincarnate up to 7 times. Hi, are your classes held online? Yes, my classes, when you subscribe in my website, the information that you have to put in, it's going to ask you to put in your phone number, to type in your phone number. So after you subscribe, one of my assistants is going to add you to a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group, close elite group of the school that you decided to subscribe on. If you subscribe to the 3 or 4 schools, or just one schools, or maybe you subscribe to 6 schools, or just 2 schools. But anyways, if you subscribe to the Spiritism school, what we do is that by the phone number that you type in, we add you to that specific group. And in that WhatsApp group is when we share the Zoom links, and is where we share all the classes, and is where we connect 3 times a week. And each class is held for an hour and so, an hour. No, we give 12 classes a month, 3 classes a week. The website is davidalaaggayu.com. The classes are bilingual. They're given in English and Spanish. We have a live professional translator, and we give a live video, a live, it's not a video, it's an interaction with live, giving a class. And we also give a new document, a PDF document, every class. Every time we finish a class, we upload that class to what we call it, a digital library. We upload the class to the cloud. All of the classes are in the cloud, and you have access to the cloud. All your Zooms videos, all your PDF document, you have access with that class for a whole entire month. You have 31 days to download all of your classes in any equipment, any cell phone, any tablet, any computer, and you can download it multiple times as well. It's not that we give you the option of downloading it just in your cell phone or in your tablet, or you can download it in your cell phone, in your tablet, in your computer. And the classes are available for 31 days, for a full month. And the classes are, the schools, all of the schools are discount right now. I think the school is I think it's 70 or 80 bucks a month, or 60 bucks a month. But I don't know. I don't remember. I don't recall the monthly price. But let's say you get. Let me tell you the price of the school of Spiritism, because all of the schools have different monthly payments. Let me tell you guys the price, the monthly price of, and the school just started. We just started a couple of days ago. The Spiritism school, it is, the Aleyos and Santero schools, it's $59.99. The School of Plants, man, that School of Plants, of herbs and plants and well science, that school is just academically extraordinary. That one is $69.99. The School of Spiritism was $100. Right now, the School of Spiritism is on $69.99. So yeah, the School of Spiritism is on $70 a month, and you get 12 classes a month. 12 classes a month, and with me. And we also have different teachers in our school, very prepared um, individuals. The Palo Mayombe school is 79. Uh, the highest payment that we have, the highest monthly, is the school of Dilogun divination. If you want to learn in less than 6 months, I can make you a pro at sitting down and do divination with Dilogun. That school is like $160 a month. It was $200. Now we have it on special for a couple of days for $169.99, and the Spiritism $69 a month. But when you come to think about it, guys, it is the best investment that you're going to make in your life. You know, you don't have nothing to lose. You can just give me 1 month. If you don't like it after the first month, you take yourself out of the subscription. But if you give me 1 month, I guarantee you I'm going to give you a life in the religion. I'm going to give you, how can you say it? I'm going to give you a career in the religion. You're going to love the Spiritism and the religion so much after you give me just 1 week in my school, because you're going to be like, wow, you teaching, you know, we try to teach the Spiritism at levels that you don't see on social media, TikTok, or, you know, other spiritual houses. Because you guys have no idea at the level that you can take Spiritism, at the levels that you can take your mind, and at the levels that you can take your knowledge to learn how to decode, how do you say that word, decodify, like interpret the code of the spirit, the code, the conversation, the messages, the interpretation of the spirits. What about a special for everything with one price per month? We already have our discounts in the schools. We dropped it down like $40 or $50. That, as a matter of fact, the prices are going to go back up next week. I think on Monday or Sunday or Monday, the prices of the schools are going to go back up to $90 or $100 or something like that. So you guys have this weekend to subscribe, and I give you my word as a religious, as a father, as a man, that you will not be deceived and you will not be disappointed. And that'll be the best decision that you're going to take in your spiritual, in your religious career. Subscribe to all of them or one of my schools. Guys, I am deeply grateful that you guys bear with me. You guys help me to do this live. It was a little bit tough for me, but I deeply appreciate. I deeply appreciate. I see a lot of people connected here in Facebook. Thank you, Rhonda, for your presence here in my life. Thank you, Juan. David, do we need a specific books that the class provides? No, Madeline, you guys do not. You know, when you have my books, it's always good. It's a plus. It's like a, you know, knowledge is power. If you have my books and you add that to the course, that will be extraordinary. But you do not need to possess or buy any books to join any of my schools, because in every class we give you a brand new Zoom class live with me, and we give you a brand new PDF document. We put it in document what we're going to talk about in the class. So, oh, thank you, Melissa. Trust me, you will not be deceived. Trust me when I tell you. Oh, and another, how can I say this? Another benefit that you guys get by being on the schools is that you have a special private number that you have access to me. to Dr. Obadiah Davidalaaggayu from Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. You have access to me all the time. And the reason I mention this is because I do not answer any social media messages. It's kind of difficult for me. Ronda, Iyabo almost done. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can be an Iyabo and you can be on my schools. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's whatsoever. Love that this is in English. Rhonda, but please follow me in my YouTube channel, because this Facebook and TikTok, it's just like an antenna to bring the you guys to my YouTube channel. Eventually, I'm going to stay only in YouTube, only in YouTube. But yes, Melissa, I assure you that you're going to love them. And yes, it's you know adding all social media, I have a little bit over 1 million followers. YouTube, 191,000. Facebook, in Centro de Estudios Lucumí, I have 340,000 or 370,000 followers. And in my personal Facebook page, which you guys can send me a friend request, I have 120 something, I don't know, thousand followers, something like that. And then on Instagram, it's 100 and something thousand. On TikTok, so when you add all of those, I have almost like a million or over a million followers. And it's very difficult to answer messages. I barely answer social media messages. But when you're a student of mine, when you're my students, when you're in any of my schools, I have an obligation. I have an obligation on responding to you, because yes, you're my student. So yes, that our schools is not a recruitment. We don't want to recruit no one. We respect your house, your spiritual house. We respect your padrinos, your godfathers, your godmothers. Um, we just want to teach you. We want to teach you the truth. We want to teach you the way. We want to teach you. We want to give you the tools so you can learn how to save yourself and your kids and your husband and your wife and your family. Yes, this live today was only in English, and I know my Spanish speakers, they would love to kill me right now because I'm speaking only in English. But you guys, the English community, deserve also a little bit of my time. Did you see a problem with this? Well, guys, tomorrow I have around 16, 17 readings in person in my botanica. And but if I finish, if I still have a little bit of energy, like if I'm not that tired, tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m., around 8 o'clock p.m., I will connect in my YouTube channel to do another English live. Tomorrow we can talk about a little bit of Spiritism, Palo Mayombe, Ifa, Orisha. You guys are going to love it. We're going to kill it tomorrow. Thank you very much, Madeline. Hugs and kisses to all you guys. Thank you. And I love to do English live because English speaking people are less problematic than Spanish speaking people. So, you guys are more cool. Thank you, everybody. Hugs. See you guys tomorrow at nighttime. Okay, we need a Malongo live. Yeah, tomorrow I'll speak a little bit about I'll mix a little bit of Spiritism, Palo Mayombe, and we're gonna do a hell of a live tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kika. Kika, un millón de gracias. Thank you very much, Kika. Thank you, a million. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Blessings. Ilera Tio Today Bukum Boborisha Bewo. Once again with you guys, Dr. Obadiah Davidalaaggayu. May you guys have a great evening. Okay, you finished?